Do you need encouragement to turn tragedies into your own triumphant life story? If so, this podcast is for you. Listen to powerful guests who have persevered through challenges so you can gain strength to build your championship life. The host of Professor of Perseverance podcast, Dr. James Perdue.
All right, hey, let's get started here. Hey, we got a program. We're going to discuss overcoming adversity, overcoming an addiction, and how he was able to do that, and go from there. Hey, grab a little piece of nugget here that's going to help you get through something today. Grab this little nugget, share it with someone else. Also, be able to use it in the future for you when other hardships come around. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our show today. Again, we're going to talk about overcoming addiction and how he did it. And we have Nathan. Let me get this button here. Nathan Buttigieg.
What's going on? What's up, everyone? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Since you're also, say you're Australia.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit far away. Yeah, Australia, Victoria. I live in a place called South Gippsland, which isn't the city. It's actually a rural area, but it's still Victoria. Very green out here. Well, not at the moment. It's pretty dry at the minute, but
Yeah. So we're getting ready to finish our winter. We got about another week, 2 weeks of winter, and we'll start our spring here.
Yep.
So we're about ready to change seasons.
It
All
gets
right,
hot out
Nathan. At the moment in our winter, it's not real hot.
there?
Where I live, I guess the average in winter is around anywhere from 35 to 50 normal.
Mm-hmm.
But there's times we get to the single digits. Now we're talking Fahrenheit. You're Celsius.
Yeah, way out.
Yeah. So we're low. We're freezing for y'all is 0 degrees. It's 32 for us. And so
right.
So when we get into single digits, it's a minus for y'all. But we're usually into Fahrenheit. In my area, 35 to 50 is the normal range in Fahrenheit. But sometimes we get up into 67. But here in the spring, we've already, because we're so close to it, we've already hitting 70 degrees. And
it was
already.
Like that for us at the start of before summer hit. It was getting hotter, and it's kind of stuck around a little bit. Everyone's begging for rain down here because it's a lot of dairy farms, a lot of beef farms, a lot of veggie farms and stuff here, so they need rain.
Well, in my area, again in Tennessee, my brother calls March, he calls it the bipolar month. It can't make up its mind. Like I said, past 3 days, it was 65, 70. Now here, yesterday and today, 39 was a high, 48 to high today. But before that, they'd reach up to 70. Now we'll get back up to 50, 60, 70s, and then it'll drop again. So he calls it a bipolar month.
Yeah, it's like that all the time here. We've got a joke that we take like a jacket and shorts everywhere. You just never know.
There you go. So it used to be those saying, if you don't like the weather here, wait 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah. All right, Nathan. Hey, I appreciate you being here and everything. And so, I would want you to throw us into your story to get started, where you think we need to jump in with you.
So main thing, I was 22 years old, lost everything because of COVID lockdowns and bad financial decisions. Girlfriend, house, job at the time, friend group, all of that went bad because everything got shut down. Especially in Melbourne, it was pretty bad from what I hear from everyone else. I didn't realize everyone else had it so good, but here everything closed. We weren't allowed to go to work. We had to get that needle in our arm. And I was forced to move back in with my parents at 22 years old. I moved out when I was 18 before that. And then from there, because of the internal dialogue of I was a failure, I started my alcohol and cocaine onslaught of abuse to myself. Overcame both of them at separate times. First went the drink, then went the coke. And then just started focusing on being a better human, man, just getting in shape, getting my mind right, putting my thoughts and opinions and anywhere I can help on the internet. And now I work with people one-on-one to do the same thing with them, get them in shape, get their mind right, get them away from all these things that don't serve them, and then focus on being a better individual for everyone they love and the world.
There you go. It sounds awesome, man. Again, you got to be able to respect and love yourself before you can expect anyone else to.
Yeah, that's right. And if you're going to give it, you need to possess it too. So it needs to be cultivated within first. Life's a mirror, not a window. You got to have everything first if you want to give it out.
Oh, I love that little quote there. You just said, "Life's a window, not a mirror." Is that what you say, or did I get it the wrong way?
Life's a mirror. Like everything's a reflection of you.
Yeah. Life's a mirror, not a window. I like that.
That's right.
That's pretty good, man. But yeah, so you were addictive before the COVID.
No, so I guess growing up, I was we're drinking a lot around fires. Like I said, it's rural down here, it's farmland, so we just sat around fires and drank alcohol. That was how we grew up. I didn't realize that was how I was dealing with adversity and my own mental thoughts and stuff like that. I didn't realize that was my coping mechanism until adversity really hit and I really had a challenge in life. So cocaine didn't start till after COVID, but alcohol had been a thing my whole life.
Okay, so it was normalized at that age.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's only when
and so you didn't know it's a problem, like you said, until other things come up and then realizing it.
Yeah, I was drinking like 20, 30 drinks every night, including weekdays. And I thought that was just normal. I thought everyone did that until someone told me what.
Yeah, I can understand that. So, I mean, here in the States, we have that social norm as well. People start getting into, a lot of them start doing it in high school, a lot of drinking. I was one of them. I didn't drink in high school. I really didn't take my first drink till graduation night. I took a drink. Other than that, I didn't really drink. I didn't hang out with that group, I guess. So
yeah, well, everyone always seems to say like one or two drinks is all right, which might be the case on like normal terms. But if you're building the habit of using alcohol to suppress what you really think about yourself or what's really going on, as soon as you get, hard life adversity where you're really challenged, where you lose everything or maybe go through a divorce or something like that, then that habit will stick its head out and it will control you.
Well, and like you just said, is if you're using it to cope with whatever's going on, that's where problems not beginning because it's already there.
That's right, yeah.
And I have no problem with people drinking, okay? As long as they do it do it responsibly. I'm really against the drinking and driving stuff. But if they're staying at home, doing the right thing, I have no problem. Everybody's each and own. But I hope and pray, like you said, you're not using to cope with something that's going on, because that's only going to infest to make things get worse if you're not handling it the right way. So,
yeah, I just don't know why else you would do it. I think everyone's hiding a little bit. They don't want to feel so.
Yeah. We're all going through something. And
like I said, I didn't know I had a problem.
Yeah, exactly. From there, again, you grew up thinking that's the way it's supposed to be. So, now it's amazing to me that COVID comes along, and I can see where you lost everything, because a lot of people lost everything from there. So I can understand that part. So how did the cocaine take off after all that?
I tried it like once before in my earlier life, I guess. And then when I moved back down here, when I got a new job in a warehouse, some of the boys were connected a little bit there, and I just thought it was a cool thing, I was earning decent money at the time, and if you've ever done cocaine before, you need decent money to be able to pay for it. It's about like 300 Australian, 400 Australian for a gram, so it's pretty dear stuff. So I guess all the boys, or not all the boys, there a couple of the boys there were into it, and I was into, I guess, the image of them and what they do, and got dragged into it. It was very it was my own choice. There was no peer pressure or anything like that. It was all me willing to do it. Yeah. But started from there, and then made friends with the guy that did all the dealing, and all that kind of stuff, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I just latched onto that life.
Yeah. I've never done cocaine. I have smoked a little weed when I was younger, but that's as hard as I ever got. But yeah, it's very addictive, and like you said, it's a very expensive habit.
Yeah, that's right. And I had it on me most of the time. I would just, go to a toilet nearby and, put a bit on my phone and cut it up and sniff it that way. It was just at the end there, it was just an everyday thing. It didn't start off as that. Obviously, you don't start off using all the time. It's just, when you go out. But it became like, I'd be at work, I'd be at friends' houses, I'd be, driving and stuff. I'd just pull over and
take a quick hit.
Mm-hmm.
So now, how long have you been sober now? Clean?
Fully sober off everything, like 3 years, 3.5.
Good job. All right.
Yeah, about 4.5, 5 off alcohol. I got exact dates somewhere, but
I hear you.
Yeah.
Had those little attaboy parties, that you succeeded another year, another month, another day in some places.
I don't like a lot of people, like, it's both ways with people that overcome this stuff. Some people like celebrating. They like making like a big deal of it. I don't, man. I just move through it. It's like there's no point, like, because people get so worked up on the 10-year thing or the 5-year thing or something like that. I'm not celebrating, man. I'm just not going back. You know what I mean? I made a choice for myself that it doesn't matter how many years go past that.
Well, and we're all different. So
that's right.
Yeah, we all handle it different. We all do things differently, and there's no right or wrong.
That's right. If celebrating it, it gives you some kind of fulfillment, accomplishment. That's good as. But I just never did. I just made a decision and never looked back.
Yeah, I'm pretty much like you. That mild up with was coming over with your date is more than mild thing. But yeah, I'm one of them. I'd rather just be silent about it and move on, and instead of pushing it out. Hey, look, I'm 50 years. Yeah, I just prefer just going to live my life and moving on. That would be me as well too. So
yeah, keep in mind, I don't really celebrate birthdays or anything like that either. And Christmas for me is just for all the nieces and nephews I have. So
yeah,
I'm just not a big celebrator, So
I hear you. Oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, for me, you're not quite my age. I'm 60, be 61 this year, and the Christmas now is for me is when I feel good when I'm giving stuff away. I don't care about receiving anymore. And again, it's the young kids. It's their day. So that's why all this other stuff. We have too many holidays in America.
We do.
We're celebrating the Easter Bunny coming up here pretty soon, and so. But Easter is just all for the kids, but it's for people to make the big money here. Making people go out and buy stuff for it. It's all it is. So, yeah. But I'm like you. I'm just one of them silent people. Just let's go on and move on. So
yeah, I never used to be into Christmas until probably around the time I got real sober. And I love everyone coming together and coming from all over and getting all the kids together and we play. We do a thing here called Boxing Day. So the day after Christmas, we Australia celebrate a Boxing Day. I don't know what the boxing means, but all the kids and stuff get together. We play outdoor sports all day. It's fun as. That's my favorite time of the year for sure.
That's a day after Christmas?
Yeah, it's called Boxing Day. It's something to do with when the convicts first came here, all the slaves and stuff would get a box or something. I looked it up one time, but
yeah. Okay, cool. Look up. You ever Google? Go to YouTube and look up. What's it called? He was on Seinfeld. George, his dad, Festivus. Look up Festivus Day. And Seinfeld, the old comedy back in the 80s, early 90s. George, his dad wanted to bring back, he was celebrating Festivus. We have Christmas Eve and Christmas. Well, on December 23rd, he wanted to have Festivus. And instead of a Christmas tree, they had an aluminum pole that they had instead of a Christmas tree. And then at dinner that night, instead of just, happy Festivus and everything, instead of just being, they aired out their grievances against everybody at the table, but they were mad. But they're mad.
Yeah, but all
So
that early.
it's just pretty funny. But again, Festivus, if you ever get a chance, look it up on YouTube. It's
There
pretty
you go.
funny. So
Yeah,
all right, now,
Boxing Day was the day I stopped drinking. That was the last drink I had.
all right, awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. Saw that on. You had Boxing Day 2021, and I'm just thinking you're in the ring boxing. I wasn't thinking of what you just explained.
I was
So
wondering why you asked me about boxing. I was like, oh, no,
yeah,
I do
early.
about Muay Thai, but
Yeah. And but yeah, actually, earlier before we got started, I was asking about are you still boxing and everything, and yeah, because of that day. No, it's pretty cool that all of y'all still as your family group and whoever's around just have an all day activity day. So
yeah. Yeah,
it's
I've grown. It's my favorite part of the year for sure, and I never used to give it like a damn about it. It was just another day. It used to be,
well,
but
it just now your mind is more clear and get to understand, appreciate
yeah.
things.
Once
So
I got rid of everything, I feel a lot more. I get on both sides. I feel more love. I feel more anger. I feel more
yeah,
sadness. Like it's both all way of the scale. It's just what you get when you stop suppressing it for so long. So having all my family around is the best time ever. Seeing them all happy is unreal.
yep. That's me again. When you reach my age, you just want to make sure the younger folks are having a good old day and good time,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
and and the older. My mom just had an 85th birthday a couple of weeks ago, and to make sure that she's still happy and healthy, that's all
Yeah,
I care about now. So,
yeah.
all right. So now, with you, not with your addiction, now how do you handle your anger, your maybe depressions? How do you dealing with the stuff like that then?
I put it all in the gym. I run a very tight routine on a daily basis, and I have for a lot of years now, maybe 4 years. I've run the same wake up, work out in the gym straight after I wake up, read books, eat the right food, and you just deal with it as you go through. Obviously, life and stuff is going to make you feel some sort of way all the time, but I've learnt through following like this structure of daily habits so long that it's way easier if you stick to the plan and just kind of battle through rather than stop all personal development just to deal with this one life thing that's trying to stop you or whatever, and then everything gets worse. So I've just learned to stay on the daily habits, stay on the work, and then learn from anything that comes.
There you go. Yeah. So, um, well, I forgot where I was going next, but I think I was still thrown off with the boxing going on. So you mentioned you're doing what now? It's a form of kickboxing using
Yeah, so
what you
the main thing I do is gym training. 4 days a week, I'm in the gym lifting weights, hypertrophy. That's what I've done since I was 17 years old. I just stopped for a long time when I was really going hard on everything.
hmm
But and then I just picked up this year. I picked up Muay Thai, which is like kickboxing, but elbows and knees are allowed, and it's a lot of a harder sport. Them Thailand guys, they're super hard, so the rules are a bit different. Like if you are in the clinch and you're getting like choked out, and if the ref doesn't see it, even if you're tapping to like for him to let go, they won't let go. You just pass out. It's a very hard sport,
Wow.
physically hard. Like they're just tough boys, you know.
Yeah, it always sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be over there going
yeah,
real
that's
fast,
right. That's right.
so wow. Okay.
And they just, I started that. That's been good as it's a very different very different workout. You're sweating. You're a lot more like I guess less rigid and less tensed up, and it's been great, man. Like I said, I've done 10 years in the gym now, so getting into something that like really is enjoyable and I'm learning something every day. I go
Yeah.
there is the best. So I do that 3 days a week, 4 days a week. I'm in the gym. But what I help people with is just the gym. I'm just a beginner on Muay Thai, so I'm not going to teach anyone.
Yeah. Before I'm in a wheelchair, I didn't know if you knew that's with my stuff, but I'm in a wheelchair. I got my neck broke playing football, and so,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember as an athlete that again, I drank after I got hurt more than I did way before then,
Mm-hmm.
and And when I said I smoked some weed, that was after getting in the wheelchair because I figured, hey, I'm not going to be making any problems, not like I'm going to be doing anything in the wheelchair. But from there, but do you feel that, because when I played sports, I would get my natural high from the competition and playing. So do you think that you're getting your high now from the gym activity?
I've always had a massive sense of like pride and confidence from like building myself into someone that's stronger, especially since I got sober. Being like a better individual is like it makes me if I'm pushing through like hard parts of workouts or of days, say that I'm like super tired, I had 2 hours sleep or whatever, pushing through that and knowing that like not many people could, that's my competition. It's just self-build in my head. But the Muay Thai part of it, I haven't done any sparring yet, but I'm sure it will come. The coach will push me into it at some point.
Oh yeah. So you got to up the level every now and again. Wanted to see where you stand in place in line to see how good you really are and not good at it, and enjoyable if you're still reaching that self. Again, I hate to say high, but self motivation to be able to push yourself more.
Yeah, it is a high after you get like after a really hard workout, you're in the best mood of your life. It's what effort does. When you put effort into yourself and you do something that you weren't sure that you could do, like before a workout, I'm really low. There's no way this makes me better. There's no way I feel good after this. Then you do the workout, you feel on top of the world, man. It is a high. It's all the blood and oxygen from heavy breathing and all that kind of stuff. It really works. I think that's true why I love it so much.
Well, you're 1,000% correct about that. There's so many people out there go, I don't feel like doing it today. I'll do it tomorrow. And then, of course, maybe they may or may not do it tomorrow. But I find myself, I try to work out when I can. I like going out pushing and exercising for mine, pushing a mile or so. But there's days, like you said, I feel like I don't feel like going out and doing it. But then I go, but if I don't do it, then I'll feel guilty for not doing it. And so when I go out there and do it, then when it's over with, then I'm glad I did it.
Yeah. And then it becomes like, what else can't you do in the day? That's why I start off the day with an early as wake up and a gym routine straight away. Because if I can force myself through that, then the rest of the day is easy. The rest of the day is like, well, I didn't think I could wake up and half an hour after I was feeling good, or 2 hours after I was on a podcast, or you're just proving yourself wrong constantly. It does a lot.
I had to learn. I mean, I knew this, but I had to relearn it, I guess, that it's mind and body, not just body only. A lot of people just want to work out their body, but you got to work out that mind too, as well. And what I'm saying here is I attempted suicide 3 times in 3 days. That's how bad I wanted out of here. And I had to see a psychologist when I survived, and they made me see a psychologist. And that's when I realized, talking with him, that we need to exercise our mind to get out all this clutter, all this negative, all this hearsay, all this, to stay as positive as possible and headstrong as possible, and build the body as well. A lot of people want to build the body and they neglect upstairs.
Well, that's why it's called a workout. You wake up in a negative space. You wake up not wanting to do stuff. You wake up with lazy. You wake up with, negative self-talk. You wake up with all these bad things, and you work that out in the physical form to a point where you're in love with what you did, yourself, other people, and it's a complete mind shift. If you hit a workout right, you go from negative to positive within an hour. That's the greatest gift you can give everyone is, you don't need all these things that keep, a Band-Aid on it. And then afterwards you're worse. Like, you have a drink, you have a hard night and you regret it the next day, or you do coke and then you're depressed as fuck for, 2 weeks after that.
Yeah.
With a workout, you always feel better. That's why it's called a workout.
There you go. And again, it's younger people just need to learn it's also with the mind, not just the body. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Again, I played baseball, and if you didn't have that competitive drive to be able to headstrong and be uh, more desired, more driven in the mind. Your natural ability, body ability, people will catch up with that. It's
Yeah.
the mindset that sets the difference off of people. That's what I believe.
Yeah, no, for sure. Breaking like mental limits, also you're able to problem solve way better. You're able to see more. You're able to think more positively on things. If you're going through a lot of life things, like the better is I do it now. If I'm going through a lot, I'll do like double workouts. I'll work out way more and raise myself up above these problems that I'm having rather than sitting low and trying to look up at them. Now I'm looking down at them and I'm able to observe and go through it that way. I seen on one of my guys on Instagram a couple of days ago, he's put a picture of his hands. His hands are all calloused as, and he's like, business has been super hard lately, and he's just been working out heaps. But usually people do the opposite, like life gets hard, they go away from the workouts, they go away from the food. If you can lean into all that stuff and keep yourself really good, or even get better during hard times, what are you going to do during easy times? You're going to kill it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's too easy to quit than to take the mental fortitude to push forward. So
That's right. Yeah,
um,
that's right. The mental game is just breaking past all your limiting beliefs that you can't do something, or that isn't for you, or I can't put on weight, or I can't lose weight, or there's no way I could work out 6 days a week, 7 days a week. I couldn't wake up at the same time. All these things that you've told yourself your whole life, you start breaking those things down, and it's impossible not to love and be proud of yourself and walk around with confidence.
once you see that you have completed something and you set out to do it and you complete it, oh, you feel just so much energy, that I did do that. And
That's
like you
right.
said,
Yeah.
we want to, as time goes on, increase that to go a little bit further.
Yeah, that's right. 100%.
Um, what was I was going to say? It's we're talking about we're, and I've mentioned this in other podcasts. We're harder on ourselves, and we'll neglect ourselves far more than other people say you can't do that. You don't need to do that. Why would you want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
And we're the ones going, I can't do that. Why do I want to try? And instead of, like I said, moving forward.
Yeah, I always like to say fear hides in your reasons not to do things. I think we don't do things because we're scared. We're scared of the changes we need to make. We're scared of, how physically hard it is, or we're scared of like what we'll look like when we do it. It's a whole world of people who are scared of things that haven't happened yet. We torture ourselves in our mind before we even try to do stuff. It's the worst. You just got to do it, and then after you do it, you're like, oh, that wasn't even half as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah. I like what you said there. We'll torture ourselves in the mind before we will. Yeah, I never thought of using the word torture, but yeah, I just know we're harder on ourselves.
Yeah, I can't remember one of the Stoics, whether it's Marcus Aurelius or something like that. That's a quote for him. We suffer in our mind 10 times more than we suffer in real life.
There, Gillick said we're afraid to go do things because we don't know. And here's one problem I have that I don't know if I have it, but hard to understand. Okay, is people like starting a new job. They may or not want to start a new job because they don't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
This job's can be different than what I'm at. I want to stay here because I know this job. I'm successful. I can do this. But if I do the other job, how much better can my life be?
Yes,
They're worried.
uncertainty.
Yeah, and they're worried about the good that can come out
Yeah,
instead of just going, I'll just stay here because I don't know for sure.
yeah. That's where faith comes in. Fear and faith are opposites, and I don't mean people need a faith in a god or whatever. Just faith that things are going to happen to you regardless. Like whether you stay in your comfort zone, bad things will happen. Whether you move forward and do something different, things are going to happen. But having faith in yourself because you've cultivated someone that pushes through adversity and doesn't quit, doesn't give up, keeping faith in yourself to know that if these things happen, you will deal with them as they come and you'll get better. Once you overcome this fear of, think bad things are going to happen if I move forward, and you understand that bad things are still going to happen if you stay there, and know that that person you've created over a long period of time will just overcome it and it will become better because every adversity in your life, you've done the same thing, you've overcome it, you've gotten better. It's having faith in yourself that you will handle the situation regardless.
There you go. Yes. Yes. Now you seem to be, as we're just talking here, a very positive person before COVID.
I
Were
was. Well, I at
you
least
one of
tried
them
to.
that, or I was going to say, or did you learn and develop that habit afterwards? But
I
you seem to
was
be very positive before.
I was very positive with other people. With myself, I was very depressed and very unhappy, and
Oh, I
didn't
get
really
you.
like this whole life thing. Kind of just started making sense the last 4 years when I was sober, and my mind was
Yeah.
actually working properly. Because if you're putting stuff into your body all the time, like chemicals and alcohol and cocaine and all this kind of stuff, your mind can't work properly. You can't really open up to it all. So
Yeah.
yeah, I am a very positive person now. Some like I'm straight down the line. I'll tell it to you how it is, but it's always for someone to get a positive message out of it. I just don't come from a place of everything will be all right. Just leave it as it is. I come from a place of like you got to work hard, you got to do it, and then if you do a lot of work and you really try and you put everything in, you don't half-ass it, then it will get better.
Yeah, that's like most things. If, like I said, half-assed, or if you put everything you got into it, it's going to depend on how you do. Is how your outcome is going to come out.
That's right. Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of times, not every time, but most of the time.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's outliers. Some people don't have to work too much and they get a lot, but they're the exception. The rule is you work hard, you stay focused for a long period of time, and you get what you want.
yeah. There you go, Nathan. Oh man, so I appreciate coming on again. If you can give us, what two advice could you give people to help them move forward?
The biggest thing is anything that anything that's challenging you right now in life, whether it's physical or whether it's mental or whether it's whatever challenge you're trying to overcome, you're being given that to overcome it to then help others do the same thing. You're not being given it just because you're being bad or being naughty or whatever. You're being given it for a reason. That reason is to overcome it and then help the collective overcome the same adversity, whatever it is, whether it's, you're depressed, you lost an arm, you're overweight, whatever it is, whatever challenge you identify, that's for you to overcome to help others do the same thing.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. Because again, I'm a big propeller of let's pay it forward. So,
Mm-hmm.
and another thing is, like you said, you're going through this adversity, and you're trying to get through it the best you can, but you don't know who in your life is watching you and going to use your example and your strength for them to get through it,
Yeah,
whatever they're going through.
it's very important not to be stuck in like a selfish way of like, this is hard, I'm sad, I'm this, I'm that, and kind of observe yourself from the outside and say like, well, if I overcome it, I'll be able to draw people through it and help people through it. And it's being given to me. I'm being used as an offering to help people with the same problem that I'm overcoming. You got to go to war against the problem. You don't submit to it.
Hey, I like that. Go to war, man. You give three things here that I'm liking here, man. So, reflection in a mirror and not a window, and then just go to war with it, and the torture of the mind, man. I'm getting a big deal from you today, bud. So
Let's go. I love it.
let's do it, buddy. All right, Nathan. Hey, appreciate you being here. We're going to move on, but I really appreciate you. Give people your social medias or anything that they can reach out, and if they have a question to ask you or anything else you got going on you want to share.
Yeah, so it's just Instagram, Nathan Buttigieg with an extra G, so NathanButtigieg. One word. Yeah, check out my stuff. Send me a message if you want to. And yeah, man, everyone have a sick day.
There we go. And I'll get your information, Instagram and stuff, and put it in the show notes. Make it easier for people to help find it. All right.
Cool.
Nathan, my man, thank you for being here. You blessed me, that's for sure, today. And just think, again, they say this stuff on the internet's here forever now. So just think 100 years from now, someone's going to find you and they're going to get this little nugget and they're going to be able to use it.
I love it, dude. One of the main things that I did when I was trying to get sober was listen to podcasts. They helped me heaps, just listening to other people's beliefs and way of thinking. They do a lot, bro. They do a lot.
Well, we don't know it all, but we can go out and learn more. Like you said,
That's
listen to
right.
other people's podcasts, look YouTube, go and read other people's papers, whatever your whatever your specialty is, you like reading better than you're listening, whatever it is, other people have, and you can grab a little bit from them every time.
That's right.
So I forgot who said this, but the one quote that I like is, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
That's right, man. You got to get
Because you're not
room.
learning from no one else. If you're the smartest, you need to go somewhere where you can learn. So
that uncomfortability again.
Yes, sir.
Start from the bottom again.
Yes, sir. Nathan, thank you for being here. Hey, everybody else, be sure to share us out. Oh, he's got a bunch of good nuggets in here to use to help you out. Nathan, you know the people are hurting and struggling today. If you can leave us with one big positive message.
That's the big thing I said before. You are being used as an offering, as a beacon to overcome that problem so that then you could help others and be the reason that they didn't quit. Your adversity, your story of overcoming is their reason not to quit.
Amen, brother. All right, Nathan, thank you for being here. Everybody else, do something today, tomorrow, something next week that's going to help you persevere past your paralysis.